Hello and welcome to the collapse experiment. If you enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe while I talk around, tongue tangled, because all this snow is melting. It's making things very interesting. I was not about to wear snowshoes with this because it just gets compacted under the shoes and they become heavy and cumbersome and not part of a strongman competition that I've ever seen. Can you lift the cement boots? Do not bother helping anyone. There's one thing that I think everybody should learn in life. It's that nobody is coming to save you. This is an important lesson for Gen Alpha, Gen Z. Gen Z hasn't gotten the memo yet. Millennials are finally starting to figure things out. Meanwhile, I'm Gen X, so we were the latchkey kids. We were the ones that had to figure things out while we were growing up. These days, that's considered child abuse, because our nation is run by a bunch of pussies. You can't leave your kid in your car while you go into a building for a minute and a half to pay for something with your doors locked in 50-degree weather. What could happen? Well, nothing fucking happened except you're harassing my ass, and why are you bothering with my kid? Do you even have kids? No, because I'm responsible. Fuck off. Now, when I talk about not helping people, for one, there used to be this idea of like help your neighbor, help a buddy out, help out family. What ends up happening is you get fucked over in the end. For example, I had a buddy who found out his landlord was selling the house that he was in. And the new buyer, the new owner coming in, wasn't going to rent it out. Didn't matter if the lease was still good for 6 months, none of that, right? Basically, he was looking at going through an eviction process unless he just moved out, which is exactly what he did. So he knew that I had a 3-bedroom house. And I was like, well, shit, I'm not here a lot of the time because I was seeing my future wife at the time, spending a lot of time at her house, which was a couple blocks away. So I was like, yeah, dude, just move in, we'll sign a lease, we'll be a roommate, it'll be cool. This guy ended up being the best man at our wedding. And in the couple years that he lived there, he fucking trashed the place. Trashed it. Got a dog, which wasn't allowed on the lease. Not a little dog either. Not even a hunting dog. Oh, no. He got a fucking pit bull. And that pit bull, its claws ruined the finished wood stairs, going to the second floor. Wasn't house trained. So all the carpet that I had installed in that house when I first bought it with my first wife and refinished everything and installed the carpet myself and kept it nice for years. Because I enjoy nice things, especially when I put the work into it. You appreciate shit when you actually do stuff on your own. But no. Dog was shitting and pissing wherever the fuck it wanted. he decided that he didn't like, there's one room upstairs. I didn't like it either, but I wasn't about to mess with it. I was like, nope, I'll just put some bookshelves in here and not have to look at it. They stuccoed the walls. You know, that popcorn stuff? Yeah. One of the previous owners, because there was a lot of previous owners of this house, stuccoed the walls in one of the bedrooms. He decided he was going to change that. Got about halfway through a wall, scraping it off, to the point where the plaster, not the drywall, the plaster was coming off the wall, exposing the wood boards that the plaster sticks to. Kind of remind you of like one of the rooms in the Paper Street house in Fight Club. Kind of like that, minus the wallpaper by the time he was done. So yeah, he fucking trashed the house. He at one point tied the dog to the handrail on the front porch. Of course, the dog ripped the handrail off, which means that there's a code violation waiting to happen. Can't have front stairs without a handrail. So I had to go over there and fix the fucking handrail. Because he couldn't just take the dog out to take a piss. No. He would attach a cable to it, let the dog outside to roam around in the front yard, fucking up the front yard, by the way, and then call it in to take it off the court. So anyways, yeah, I'm helping this dude out, and he royally fucks up my house. And then around the same time, I get him out of the house and we're moving up here and I'm selling my house. My wife decides that, because she owns her house and she knows somebody, a friend from a previous job who is looking for a place to rent. She's like, oh, well, I'm moving out of my house and why don't you rent from me? And I'm just sitting there like, no, you do not want to do this. You don't. Oh no, she's my friend. She wouldn't trash my house. She wouldn't do anything like that. The best man at our wedding fucked up my house. And didn't think anything of it. Didn't even offer to clean the shit up after he moved out. You walk in and all you saw was like dog piss stains were shit sat on the carpet for God knows how long. I spent 4 hours with one of those rental carpet cleaners going over that to get that crap out. 4 hours in one room. Running back and forth, pulling all that shit out. So she goes and she decides, of course, because my friend, the best man at our wedding was obviously just a douchebag, not a real friend like her friend is. I can't remember the last time her friend paid rent on time. And I'm not talking like a few days late. I'm talking like the house payment is due by, let's say, the 10th. She's finally paying rent on like the 15th. But still, it's like, how the fuck do you not know rent's coming? And then my wife was getting these notifications from the city. Hey, you've got all these violations outside on your property. And she's calling over there like, what is going on? Oh, we were just, people do not give a fuck if it's not theirs. They don't. They do not give a shit. Of course, it would have been nice if my wife had just listened to me and like actually sold the house at that point in time, because I'm like, you really want to deal with a property that's 2.5 hours away. You really want to do that. That was exactly why I sold mine. That's why I got him out of the house, got away from that god-awful place. I spent $74,000 over 15 years on that house. That was just the interest and payments. That's not including the new water heater, the roof that I had to have put on, the fencing that I put around the back so the crackheads would stop going through our yard in the middle of the night shooting at each other and running from the cops. $74,000. You know what I walked away with when I sold it? A $1,000 check. And that was after I had paid it down by like 15 grand. It was originally $64,900 and I got it down to just under 50 by the time I sold it. And I walked away with $1,000. Meanwhile, we've got this overly inflated market right now. I don't understand this housing market. I keep hearing about what houses are selling for in different areas, and I'm like, nope, something's not right. There's no way. Nobody's getting raises, for one. Nobody's getting raises. All these good unicorn miracle jobs with all the shebang doesn't exist anymore. Everybody I know is working a couple part-time jobs in order to make full-time hours to pay for stuff. And yet houses keep going up. What the hell? My wife seems to think that she's going to be able to sell her house for a profit. I'm like, first of all, your friend and her kids and all the other weirdos living in the place fucking trashed your house. It's trashed. And it's not like a weekend project of like they move out and you go down and you clean it up. No. It's going to be painting, repairing, carpentry, landscaping. It's going to be the whole shebang. When we moved out of there in 2020, I mean, she had spent money, like she got the outside repainted, she got the roof redone. There was stuff on the inside of the house that the handyman came over and like fixed up the stairs and all kinds of other stuff. Like, it looked nice. We repainted some of the rooms in the house. That was when she could have gotten the money that she's expecting. As of right now, like I said, it is a shit show. Do not ever try to help anybody. You have no friends. You don't. You don't have any fucking friends. You have people who look at you as a meal ticket in one way or another, who have no qualms about taking advantage of you if it means benefiting themselves. I've got a third story. This guy, I think I've told it before. He stayed with one of my buddies years ago. So this guy that we both knew, was with this girl, and the girl was a fucking psycho. Psycho. Faked a miscarriage because he was about to dump her, so that they had some emotional bond, ketchup packets and all. Yeah, pretty messed up. And then it got to the point in their relationship where he left the apartment that they were both living in. She wasn't on the lease. So he leaves. She doesn't bother paying rent for like 6 months, but she's still living there. So the apartment complex has to evict her, even though she's not on the lease, because she's technically at that point a squatter, hoping that he's going to come back and rescue her, blah, 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 which never happens. The apartment complex takes him to court for something crazy like 20 grand, which he lost. He did. Because even though he moved out, he never notified them that he had moved out. He just got away from her. So he's also an irresponsible douchebag too. But no, he goes to stay with my friend, living in the attic. And the whole point was he was going to pay like maybe a couple $100, stay there. All the extra money could go off to pay that debt so he could start over and get out from under all the bullshit that she had left him in. That whole time, it was like 2 years he lived there. Never paid any of the debt to the apartment complex. Any of it. Bought video games, partied, did whatever the hell he wanted. Didn't pay any of it. Paid rent to them, but that was it. Then he got back with the same dumb bitch. Last I knew, they had a kid together. Tied to her for life. So here he is. He's living in somebody else's house, taking up space that he could be, his buddy could be using for anything. It's his house, right? Yeah, but I'm paying him money. It's still an inconvenience, right? Like here you have access to their house at any time you want. Yeah, you're friends. But come on, dude's married with a kid. And yet acting like an entitled brat. So perhaps it was karma. Perhaps it was destiny that brought him back to the same chick that ruined his life beforehand. I used to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, oh, he's pretty smart. I always see him reading quite a bit. He's got this pharmacy job that is pretty technical. You got to know your shit. Dumb as a fucking box of rocks. So yeah, never bother helping anybody out. They need to learn to save themselves. It's just like that book that I read at the beginning of the year. Nobody is coming to save you. No truer words have ever been spoken. You are on your own. And I think it's everybody's job to teach other people who are expecting a fucking handout. No, you need to figure this out on your own. Nobody's coming to save you. You're not willing to help a friend. I'm helping you by not helping you. Yeah, but you could give me a fish. I could also teach you how to fish. Or fuck it. How about you get on Google and figure it out on your own? Everybody's carrying one of these things around. Has access to the knowledge of the world. Whatever was in the Library of Atlantis, no. This thing that you're looking at right now is more powerful than anything that was lost in Atlantis, allegedly. And yet we have the dumbest fucking people on this planet roaming around with their heads up their ass, not willing to do a goddamn thing to help themselves. Over it. I am over it. There's one person at the library that, not the one I currently work at, was going through a rough patch. Didn't have any money. Noticeably tired all the time. Found out couldn't even afford to basically get lunch or anything. Was living off of scraps at home. Bring him a box of food from my house because I was like, hey, I know you like this stuff. Here you go. I'm a fucking creep. It was creepy. Why would he think that I would need a handout? I am insulted. Does not pay to help anybody. Mind your own business. Keep your head on a swivel. When somebody comes at you, hit them first. It's usually statistically the person that lands the first punch in a fight that actually ends up winning. Because as Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face the first time. Some people just need to get punched in the face. I'm not saying when your friend comes to ask for help to punch them in the face, but I think you just need to let life punch them in the face so that they get their shit together. I'm tired of these walking man-childs. I don't know how to put air in my tire. Fucking man up. Give your balls a tug. Good Lord. What the fuck is wrong with you?